thinking we should call our class project Fun Guys in a Forest. Get it? Because we're a group of fun guys and also fun guys with... Shush! That's Elo Wagtail, and she's in distress. There, my little Montecilla flower. Oh, look at her go. Wow.
Out of the way, Dorkwad. We're camping here.
Finally! Time to get that barbecue burning. Just need a bit more salt.
It's incredible. It's a new species.
What the bloody hell are those things?
Greetings. Huh? I'll be right down.
What are you guys?
We are sprites. We take care of the animals, plants, birds, nuts,
Guys, huh?
small pieces of grass.
Guys?
Leaf and stone. You picked the wrong camping spot. Sprite them!
Eat salty little...
I'll give you that one, brother bird. All right, sprites, let's burn the bodies and have some peppermint tea.
Hi, Philip. Hi, Melvin.
Brian?
Hi, Brian.
How you guys doing?
I'm great. I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to the recording session next week. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again on winning. And how do you feel? And how did you feel when you found out that you had won? Were you didn't seem very surprised.
Oh, I was really surprised actually, but as I kind of knew what was coming because I knew the prize for the first place and the second place were the recording with the orchestra. So when Jack wrote me, I kind of knew, okay, maybe it's second place, maybe it's first place. And I was really surprised that it was first place. But yeah, there's no recording of me sitting here and reading the email and going like, what? I won. My girlfriend like stepped in and was really surprised as well. So yeah.
Fantastic.
I was like completely destroyed for the for the rest of the day and the second following days because I was just so surprised and so happy. So really big thanks to all of you that I won it.
Yeah, it's great. We just had a chat with Philip this morning, going through the process of how we're going to record and the chunks. So it's great. I'm really excited to work on this because it sounds really good. I think it fits the video amazingly. Yeah,
thank you.
It'd be fantastic to have you there as well in the same room. So if anything, we can, make sure that we are getting what we need. I'm really looking forward to it, especially trying to create all that string sounds that you have. And I really hope we can do those justice because it's so different from a mock-up to a live experience. So I think we can still get the same atmosphere and the same feeling. So I'm really looking forward to getting that because it's hair raising at some moments where Sunny turns creepy. And,
You've been with the Q-Tube from day one, really?
Yeah, from day one, really. Yeah.
Good man. Good man.
I saw it on Instagram and then I was, why don't do it? And
That's really cool. I mean, I didn't know that. That's not the reason why you've won.
yeah.
But that's very cool, actually. I'm very pleased about that. Yeah, it's always nice when I meet people who've been with us for like the whole journey. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. It was really great to see the QTube grow and to like see how it's all evolving and like getting more and more members in there. Really, really great to see that.
Come on, guys, come in. Hi, so I'm here at Stoller Hall with our winning composer Philip, and also with our good friend Archie.
I was thinking we should call our class project Fun Guys in a Forest. Get it? Because we're a group of fun guys and also fun guys with... Shush! That's Elo Wagtail, and she's in distress. There, my little Monticello flower. Oh, look at her go. Wow.
Out of the way, Dorkwad. We're camping here.
Finally! Time to get that barbecue burning. Just need a bit more salt.
It's incredible. It's a new species.
What bloody hell are those things?
Greetings. I'll be right down.
What are you guys?
We are sprites. We take care of the animals. Plants, birds, nuts, insects.
Guys,
Pieces of grass.
Guys?
They're fluffy and stolen. You picked the wrong camping spot. Sprite them! I'll give you that one, Brother Bird. All right, sprites, let's burn the bodies and have some peppermint tea.
So, how was that, Philip?
Absolutely amazing. Like the performance of the Real Orchestra is always really great to have. So yeah, it's my first time. So I'm really excited.
It's great that you came over.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure you don't regret it now, yeah?
No, absolutely not.
And Archie, how did you enjoy the experience?
Oh, it was really cool. I mean, I hadn't heard Philip's piece until the orchestra played it, so it was well worth the wait, I think. Definitely.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, yeah, to see it live.
Really cool.
All right, well done, Philip. And yeah, good stuff.
Thank you very much.
Hi, and welcome to this track walkthrough.
I'm Philip and I will take you through my winning entry for the Score Relief scoring competition. I just wanted to take a brief moment beforehand to say thank you to all the kind words that I received over the past few weeks. I really appreciate them and it still feels a little unreal that I won this competition. Also, I want to encourage you to donate some money to the sponsor in place of war if you can. They really do great work. But now, without further ado, let's get straight into business. We will concentrate on the spotting session and my thoughts on the film. So let's get started. So if you take a look into the session, you can see this mess up here, which is my marker track for the video. Since the last scoring competition for spring, I started doing my spotting before I actually start writing. And that is for some reasons. Firstly, it helps me structure my piece better. If you go through the film multiple times and pick really specific spots on where you want the music to come in, play a certain theme or have the music to do something special, the decisions become more and more precise. Having music everywhere is fun, yeah, but it also distracts from the film and the dialogue. So now I try to be very conscious about where and when I decide what to do. Secondly, I realized that my computer was just too bad to play all my samples and the video at the same time and be in sync all the time. So I thought I'd hit a cut, but in the end I didn't. So to avoid that problem, the solution was to do the spotting first and then start composing. Now let's dive into the mess. First, you can see that I have divided my markers into 3 tracks. The cue markers basically mark up where the music starts and where it ends. The third one marks some chords because I always forget what I just played, so I just lay that down. It helps as well when reopening old sessions and you don't know what you've played because it's 3 years ago or so. The second is the interesting one, so let's take a closer look at that. In this marker track, I included all of my music-based markers. I know that you have plot-based and picture-based marker lanes in addition to the music-based one in bigger projects like you can see at Tom Hockenbock's fantastic channel, so check that out if you want to see what I do, but just on a bigger scale. For this project it was enough for me to just include the music-based markers and still keep track of what's happening. I won't go over every single marker because you can do that on your own and you can read those on your own. I just stick with telling you some hopefully interesting stuff about how I got there and then point out some more things to the markers in my second video about the orchestration. So before I even had my computer available, I started collecting thoughts on the film and where I wanted to play what. By this time I was in Denmark at holiday, so I just watched the video over and over again and noted everything that came to my mind in a document that sadly I don't have anymore. I don't know where that could have gone. But everything you see in the marker track is basically what was written there, so it doesn't bother. You can also see from what's written that I had a pretty strong sense of the music already and what it should sound like. So there are these little chordal and orchestration advices all over the place to remind me of that. Now let's talk a little bit more about the structure of the film and how I thought about it. So the first few seconds there really is nothing too crazy happening. I just needed some underlying music to complement the overall mood of the scene. Don't get me wrong though, that kind of music is literally the hardest fucking thing to write in my opinion, because there are just so many ideas you have to get in there to keep everything going and not have everybody been bored. And there were a few scenes in here that needed that kind of music. So those took me the longest time to compose, but we'll get to that in the second part in more detail. The first point I wanted to hit was in bar 8, when the main character suddenly stops. That's more kind of a subconscious thing because I was not planning on doing a big hit or so, it should just be a subtle thing to mark this point. The first big cut I wanted to hit was this shot opening up to this big green area. This marks a point which is repeated a second time later on in a similar fashion, so I marked it in my head that I wanted to take a similar approach with the music in that scene as well. Another plot point in this animation is the constant urge of the friends of our main character to disturb her while she's admiring something beautiful. Every time she says wow a little after somebody disturbs her. Those were plot points that I wanted to mark as well. So we have one here in bar 16 and another one in bar 30. In between there's just some more filler music and another build up to the partner shot to the one I mentioned before. After that we are introduced to the sprites, which seem very quirky and funny at this time. We all know that there are two distinct parts across this animation and the sprites aren't funny or quirky at all. But we'll get to that later. I just wanted to mark the introduction of the sprites with a little bit of foreshadowing, so I decided to do a sforzando on low strings. After that, the scene in bar 35 really leaned towards some Mickey Mousing, so I decided I'll do that. And that is really important. Although everybody is looking for something new or your own style and they always tell you should sound original and so on, there are some spots apart from that where you should just stick with old formulas because they just work. That's really the hard part. Making something original but also befitting to the film and to what everybody is expecting. So in my opinion, that was Mickey Mousing here. From bar 38 to 46 there was the most important and probably hardest section to score. Here we have the color shift from this happy and sunny story arc to the more horror side of things. But this change is very subtle and the musical color shift should be too, I thought. So the markers do not tell a lot here because I wasn't completely sure what I would like to do. We discussed the main part of that in the second video. And that's another important thing. If you can't find a fitting approach to the music beforehand, please do not stick with your own principles all the time. I said I was planning everything beforehand, but here I decided to just score that in the orchestration process. I had these few ideas, but everything else came after that. And for me, that was the hardest part to score. The rest is just action, which is relatively easy once you find the tone and where you want to go. You can see that there are all these little hit points, like the one that says Indiana Jones fittingly, that seem like they mean a lot of work, but it actually was not. This last part took me like 4 hours to write and the rest before more like 6 to 8. But having these little hit points in an action sequence makes a huge difference. There's just no general principle that I can give you here other than observing the scene on little camera moves and plot points that maybe repeat or stick out to you. Overall, you can see that I tried to keep the number of tempo changes minimal because it was possible that this would be performed by a real orchestra. And let me tell you that, they hate big tempo changes. So instead I almost always try solving issues where I have to hit a certain cut with a meter change and not tempo changes because studio musicians like the ones at Northern Film Orchestra are used to dealing with those more. That's why you see 2/4 bars all over the place. But I can understand that with such a short animation that is stripped down even more for this competition, there's just so much you could and should hit that you will not get around some tempo changes, as you can see I did not as well. So to wrap this video up, let's summarize some of the things that I mentioned. Please do keep in mind that I am still a semi-professional, so these are just things that I figured out myself or learned from others and their YouTube channels. These are just my thoughts and my work process. Nothing of this is a rule or concept that you can or have to follow along every time. There are a dozen other composers out there and every single one of them has their preferred way of writing. So yeah, don't take these things as the only magical concept available. Anyway, here are my tips. Do your spotting before you start composing, to give your piece an overall arc and give yourself time to understand the plot and everything. If you don't have a really beefy machine, this can also help your process so not every part of your PC is doing sample work and delaying everything else. Keep markers in your track because they will help you to orientate yourself. Understand the plot and find similarities and consistencies in the film that you can reproduce in the music. This will help and give your piece a red line to follow along and make everything sound cohesive. And lastly, ignore everything I mentioned above. Or in other words, don't stick to your principles if they don't work in a scene. Just crush them if that's what you need at that point. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, you can absolutely leave a comment and I will try and answer. It would be really great if you leave a sub on this channel. You can also check out my channel, which is linked in the description below, to find an alternative mix by me to the great one Simeon did. But you don't have to, of course. So yeah, that's it. Bye for now.